Hi, I'm Terry Jensen. I'm the pastor of First Baptist Church here in Plano, Illinois, and I welcome you to Through the Week. This section of Through the Week, we're going to, oh, by the way, I need to apologize real quick. Yesterday I had an area meeting and I needed to be there, so I didn't get this message out, this devotional out yesterday as was planned. So I'm doing it today, which is Tuesday, not Monday, but I'm still hoping that you'll listen and gain something from it. We've taken kind of a detour away from specifically speaking to the Christian life, what to do, what not to do, that sort of thing. And we're going in the direction of speaking about those who have gone before us. Witnesses, men and women of the faith who have left an indelible mark so as to be examples and models of encouragement for us to know that the Christian life, even though hard, is doable. Is something that we can attain to, something that we can live and be faithful in that life. So last time around we were looking at Dietrich Bonhoeffer, and today we're going to take a look at someone else, an American instead of a German, an American who is considered one of the great theologian philosophers of American history. His name is Jonathan Edwards. So let's take a look at his bio real quick, huh? What do you say? Jonathan Edwards was born October 5th, 1703. He died March 22nd, 1758. He was an American revivalist, preacher, philosopher, and Congregationalist. Protestant theologian, Edwards is widely regarded as one of the most important and original philosophical theologians. Edwards' theological work is broad in scope, but rooted in the Pedo-Baptist Puritan heritage as exemplified in the Westminster and Savoy Confessions of Faith. Recent studies have emphasized how thoroughly Edwards grounded his life and work on the concepts of beauty, harmony, and ethical fitnesses, and how central the Enlightenment was to his mindset. Edwards played a critical role in shaping the First Great Awakening and oversaw some of the first revivals in 1733 to 35 at his church in Northampton, Massachusetts. His theological works gave rise to a distinct school of theology known as the New England theology. Edwards delivered the sermon, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, a classic of early American literature during another revival in 1741, following George Whitefield's tour of the 13 colonies. Edwards was interrupted many times during the sermon by people moaning and crying out, "What shall I do to be saved?" Although the sermon has received criticism, Edwards' words have endured and are still read to this day. Edwards' sermon continues to be the leading example of a First Great Awakening sermon and is still used in religious and academic studies. Edwards is known for his many books. The End of Which God Created the World, The Life of David Brainerd, which inspired thousands of missionaries throughout the 19th century, and Religious Affections, which many Reform evangelists still read today. Edwards died from a smallpox inoculation shortly after beginning the presidency of the College of New Jersey, which is Princeton. He was the grandfather of Aaron Burr, the third United States Vice President. Wow. Jonathan Edwards was a very, very deep thinker. He wasn't always right. I have an article that he wrote called God is Space. he was experimenting with the idea that God is everywhere. And he concluded, he was only 17 years old at the time, but he concluded that space was the only thing that was everywhere. So he made this syllogism: God is everywhere, space is everywhere, therefore God is space. You know, but as a thinker, as a theologian, Jonathan Edwards was truly a man of God. He lived his life according to the scriptures, was faithful to the word of God, was also faithful to Jesus Christ and the message of the gospel. His life lives as a legacy because he was one of the first to begin revival throughout America. During that period of time when he was preaching, he was instrumental in beginning the First Great Awakening, a revival that lasted 100 years in the United States colonies and affected everywhere he went. It affected all of the colonies, and it also spilled over into a missionary project that had begun with the Native American Indians. Jonathan Edwards is an example of how we can live according to the scriptures and how we can be model Christians for those who come after us. So as we look at the great cloud of witnesses, we see both Dietrich Bonhoeffer and Jonathan Edwards as two individuals in different time periods, but two individuals whose shoulders we stand upon. Now, day after tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to take a look at some of the stuff that Jonathan Edwards had to say. And, just muse over that a little bit. It shows what his heart was like. So until then, I'll see you later, okay? Bye.